We've made a couple modifications, taken the shelf out of here and badge lowered it. The microwave's gonna fit there. I went and re-tightened all of these drawers. We're gonna put the sink here. And then the top part that went up here is outside. I took the pegboard off. We're gonna install it. A whole lot of stuff has been taken out and it's time to rebuild. All the silver in between all the bracing is the previous ambulance insulation.
I'm just going to touch on the plumbing pieces. I'm not going to put it together because we're not there. These taps will come with two ends. They'll either have, this end here is 1/2-inch pipe. 1/2-inch pipe thread, just like that. And you can screw the fitting on there and then you can go to PEX. Or what a lot of people do, will put these little hoses. These hoses are super cheap. Now, this end has got 3/8 flare fitting, just like that. That's a 3/8 flare fitting. And you can get it in different combinations. So you can screw that on there, like that. And then you have got it to PEX. Or you can screw it on the end, like so. And you have it to PEX. Or you can go from 3/8 compression to pipe thread, and then you can, we are going to use this plastic hose. So what we're going to do is we'll put a 3/8 crush sleeve on here, compression fitting, and then we'll put this hose, not like that, we'll put the hose onto a barb fitting, right? Because we have to have a barb fitting for that to go in, like one of these here. It's a prime example. You take that and then you can screw it on to pipe thread, like this here will screw into there, right? But you have to have a O-ring on it. Now, speaking of O-rings, there's a whole bunch of O-rings. There's a PEX O-ring and there's an RV O-ring. Okay? The PEX O-ring is white, like that. And an RV O-ring is black, like that. See how shallow it is? Now the reason for that is because almost all the fittings on an RV are 1/2-inch pipe. So say for instance you have a 1/2-inch pipe thread. Let's see if I can get a piece of pipe here. Okay, you have a fitting like this. Now, all the ones for an RV, you'll see they have a chamfer in here. So that this here O-ring fits right in there, okay? Now, say for instance, we want to cap that. So we get a cap. A cap like that. Now this cap is 1/2-inch pipe thread. But it's for an RV, you know, the ones on your low point drains, that's 1/2-inch pipe thread. Now what you do is you drop the rubber grommet in there, or ferrule, whatever you want to call it, and then you screw it up. And that's what seals it, okay? You don't put gunk on it, you don't put tar on it, you don't put nothing on it, you just put it up there. If you put anything on there, put a little bit of Vaseline or silicone grease, okay? And it seals. There's two different types of ferrules, or the rubber grommets for PEX. Now, most, like I said, see how that crushes in there? It's all the way around there, and it's all the way in there. This seals on the plastic, and this seals on the fitting, and it won't leak. That's how it works. So when you take, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, when you take my low point drains out, it leaks. Check, that grommet's probably gone. So you probably heard through the grapevine SharkBite. Now SharkBite are very good fittings. They come in all kinds of combinations: 1/2-inch pipe, 3/4 pipe, 1/2-inch PEX, or 3/4 PEX. Now they're not very expensive. If you do your trailer or whatever you're doing with PEX with this SharkBite, chances are you'll never do it again. But with that being said, you have to have this collar, right? That's a SharkBite 1/2 inch. Okay, and what that does, put a, this is going to be a little close, but anyway, what it is you have the that's PEX right there. So you put it in and you put the flat side down and you push that down and it compresses that sleeve and then you can pull it out. Then you just push this collar down right here. This one right here. You want to push that collar down and then it'll come out. Okay? Like so. Like that. So this is 1/2 inch PEX. That's 1/2 inch SharkBite PEX. And that's 1/2 inch pipe. You push it in there and it won't come off. It will not come off. Believe me. It won't come off. So then what you do is you put your collar on there and you have to pull it towards the thing and then pull the hose out. Now you can do that, I don't know how many times, you can do it quite a bit of times, but it shouldn't leak. But if you're gonna put it in, put it out, I would put some silicone grease around it and just put in, that's a little insert there, it goes in the tube. This is how it saves it from leaking, because when the water comes up, it'll go on the outside, but when the water comes in, this seals on the SharkBite and the water goes up through the center. It's very ingenious, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see, but there's an O-ring right in there with some teeth, and the teeth are one way. It'll let it go in, but it won't let it come out. See? They're very good. That's the sink. Just remember now, these hoses you can get in all kinds of different lengths. You can get them in different lengths and different ends. You can get 1/2 inch on here, or 3/8 crush fitting, or 3/8 on both ends, or 1/2 inch on both ends. Whatever you want. They make a multitude of them. But just remember that whenever you're working with water, it has to be a fitting to fitting. You can't like put it and put tape on it now, it won't seal it. So you have to make sure that it goes to a fitting. You can't just like put the hose over there and clamp it down. It won't hold it. The water will go through it. So that's just a touching on the fittings a bit. Just remember 1/2 inch pipe is what most of them are, and 3/8 crush fitting. That's what a lot of them are. You got PEX, right? PEX, you can either do this SharkBite or you can do PEX. Now this is PEX crush fittings. Now there's two types of crush fittings. There's a solid ring, and then there's these split rings. Now these things are cheap. Like I don't even, like they're 100 for like 20 bucks or something, like 2 cents each. So what you do is you put the ring on there. Now you have to have a straight cut. Like see how that's on an angle? Can't have that. You have to have a straight cut. Now when you're using a cutter, you have to put the cutter in the V and then it'll cut it straight, right? So then what you do is put the fitting on. Now don't put nothing on the fitting. Not a thing. Don't put no glue. Don't put nothing. Like I said, I don't care what they say. Just don't put nothing on them. Sure tight or something they call them. But you'll see they got 2 little lips on them. You put the lip in the jaws. Now these jaws are made to go in such a way that you put it within 1/8 of an inch of the hose and right down. Right? Crush right down. Right down, right down, right down. And then it'll release. If you go and push it down there, you can't, it won't release. You have to push it all the way. Now, some people say you do that and give this a 1/4 turn and do it again. I never really found it work, but they say it works, so I don't know. There, that one's done. Okay, now we got that crushed on there. And some people will, there's all kinds of different ways of getting this off, but you didn't come here just to see, you're trying to see what this idiot does to make himself look so good. Well, this is what we do. See that little tab there that holds it on? And this here side? What you do is get a pair of side cutters and put between that tab, and that's how you get it off. There's some people that spend a lot of time doing that, okay? So then now when you get it off, you'll find out this won't come out. So gently, I'm telling you gently, because if you don't want to cut this hose, you got to do it gently. Okay, and you just move it sideways a bit, just a little bit, and it'll flare that out, and this will go back to its ordinary size when you crush it, right? Now, you can cut it off, you can do whatever you want, but if you want to use this hose again, you have to do it gently. And all the stuff should fit in or loose like that, and then you put another clamp on it, whatever you do. Okay, put the clamp on, and you say, well, I put the wrong fitting on it. You put the other fitting you want on there. Put your pliers on there. Now, the pliers, I find, if you put them on a hard surface, like a floor, and push down on one lever, it makes it real easy. Put about 1/8 of an inch from where the fitting is. And the same thing, push it down. And there, that's how easy it is. If you got an RV and you're doing this full time or got a bus or whatever you do, go buy the tools. I think the pliers, they come with a kit like for 46 bucks at Home Depot or Canadian Tire. And you get some rings and you get the pliers. And then you got them. Now, it's personal preference. I use these here. People use, I know Mike at the racetrack uses the solid rings and swears by them. So it doesn't matter what you use, just as long as, and you can mix and match them too. You can put the solid ring on or you can put these on. It doesn't matter. I use these, and everything I do in PEX is I put these on. So yeah, as you see the tab right there, it's the end of the clamp, and the thing, you just put your vice grip or your side cutters in there, bend the tab up, and then just rotate it off like so. That's how you get it off. That's easy. So that's just a little bit on plumbing and fittings. 1/2-inch pipe thread, 3/8 crush. That's what mostly all of your RVs are everywhere. Like all your tops, like people get in there and they think all your tops are usually 1/2-inch pipe on the ends, and you'll see your tops will come out and there'll be a thread on it with a nut. That's 1/2-inch pipe there. So yeah, it's just remember 1/2-inch and 3/8 crush and you'll be just fine. So that's a little bit on the plumbing, and we'll carry on.